Well, hello everyone. Philosopher Stoner 666 here. So I'm looking outside, the snow falling on my window. Figures when people wanted a white Christmas, didn't happen, and then a couple of days after Christmas, then you get the snow when people maybe got to go back to work. Some people, others are on vacation. Yeah, I used to hate snow, but I look at it, and when you don't have to go anywhere or do anything, it's quite nice. Very calm, peaceful, relaxing. All of those little snowflakes are unique, supposedly, but they're not. Really, only on a microscopic level, the fractal patterns inside them. It's quite interesting, all of this stuff, when you look at it. I mean, that's all it is it's interesting. And we have a notion of language to describe it. But yeah, why is there something and not nothing, Weird stuff. So anyways, read in the news last night, Carrie Fisher died. And then, what's his face? Michael Lewis, something, singer guy from Wham, died, 53. Carrie Fisher was only 60. And I hate saying it, but this gave me some consolation. Not happiness, but consolation. Knowing that someone rich and famous died a little bit younger than my mother. My mother was 61, and she died in May, as you probably know. And just on a personal level, even though I've espoused these anti-natalist views about things, I still loved my mother. And still, I don't know why, but guilt and things left unsaid and sadness and just looking more and more at the whole human condition thing, as I had been doing probably 5 years before even. I was already pretty depressed and looking at life, and that's when I stumbled across Ligotti and Sioran and Peter Wessel Zappfes and all these other thinkers, reading them my last year of university, 5 years ago. I can hardly believe it. But yeah, why is it that people think, that people are stunned? Oh, she's dead. And it's like, well, an average lifespan in the Middle Ages, 60, 61 would have been old, ancient practically. Most people didn't live beyond their 30s. You're lucky to make 40. So now, as lifespans have increased, where people are living more frequently into their 80s and 90s, although people in the ancient past did. I think Plato was in his 80s when he died. The elite people got to be old. But, yeah, that's a lifespan, average lifespan has increased. That somehow dying at 53 is so he died too young. How much is enough? When's it enough? I'm just going to pull something up here. You can look at my wall. The world, where is it? I'm so slow these days. Got no energy because I don't sleep properly. I have insomnia. I had insomnia all last night. Couldn't sleep at all. Just staring at my ceiling and thinking and getting up and taking pisses with all of my numerous health problems. And I'll play the violin, pour me, oh, come on, fucking computer, stupid piece of shit. My father and other people say sometimes I channel my mother when I'm like this, but yeah, I kind of am doing that. Oh, pull up, for fuck's sakes. I'm looking for the world statistic clock and it won't pull up. I should have planned ahead. I should have been more prepared. Come on, Google. Do your thing, Google. Here we go. World statistic clock. Blah, da, ba, 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 bam, bam. Yeah, come on, Bing. Oh, and it gives me Bing. Why does it do that? I don't want to use Bing. It's like using Baidu in China. Nobody wants to use Baidu. Okay, where if I, okay, there it is. I think. No. World clock poodle waddle. Is this it? Is this widget it? Will this be it? Here's a very sophisticated one, but showing world population going up steadily. This one doesn't show. Let me see if I can find a better clock. Let me see. When I was teaching ESL, I had to learn how to I eventually just settled on trying to wing it. Pedometers, this should be it. How come when I really want something and need something to open, it won't open? Yep, another stupid, pointless video. But anyways, my point is, and I'll show on the clock, is 55 million people die every year. Yeah, here it is. Worldometers today. Births today, 100,000. Death today, 80,000. When I've checked this before, usually it's between 100,000 and 200,000 people die every day. On average, it's about 55 million people die every year. This year, apparently it's a little over 59 million. Oh, and it has to load something. More spam and advertisements. No, thank you. Yeah, oh, fuck you. Yeah, there it is. And so we've grown by 82 million people. So basically what my point is here to this rant is that Zappfes talked about we have 4 principal ways of dealing with our fear and death anxiety, which Ernest Becker went into as well, but Zappfes was around in like the 30s and 40s. And so he says we deal with our fear of death through the 4 ways: anchoring, which is attaching yourself to things, ideologies, countries, religions, social institutions, feeling a part of something. Notions like celebrity, fame, those are all anchoring. I am an electrician. I have a wife and 2 kids and a car and a mortgage. I live in the suburbs. An identity, as Sayoran says, a seal on your nothingness. We have distraction, which is, of course, entertainment, escapism, isolation, which is basically hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, ignoring the problem. And the noblest he called was sublimation. So like Hamlet, forms of art that confront the fear of death and turn it into something like a Greek tragedy or a Shakespearean play or something like that. So what's happening is these mechanisms that once I read that, and once I read Peter Wessel Zappfes' The Last Messiah and understood these mechanisms, I could see them all over the place. So what I think is happening is those mechanisms that I just talked about are breaking down in the society. Slowly but surely breaking down. And so people are clinging to, they think that their fame and their celebrity status and their wealth is going to protect them from mortality. So we are in the midst of a burgeoning, or now I can't even say the fucking word properly. And I'm a fucking English teacher. Can you believe it? I can't even pronounce words. But emerging spiritual crisis has been going on for a while, and the old mechanisms aren't working, basically. It's getting harder and harder and harder to conceal the problem of death. And of course, no society, no culture. Ernest Becker says we deal with our death anxiety through this whole cultural mechanism. So we cling to the stuff like what Zappfes talked about, the anchoring, I belong to this religion, this country, this thing, I'm this person, I do this, I'm important because of this, I live in a world of meaning and significance. I'm not just an animal struggling with mortality and survival and reproduction, which is all there really is. That's all there is. Survival and reproduction. Survival and reproduction. Survival and reproduction. And yeah, all these special snowflakey people are gonna, just like you and me, I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, Carrie Fisher's gonna die, Castro's dead, David Bowie's dead, everybody's dying these days. And everybody acting so surprised because we've filled our heads with a bunch of bullshit. You know, I was reflecting on Christmas and all that stuff, and it's kind of what Plato talked about, the noble lie, in a way. Like, I don't want to piss on people's cornflakes, or I don't want people to be miserable. I don't want people to be unhappy. I don't want people to be like me. I don't want there to be another me. Because I've been waking up lately for the past 6 years, probably, just be going like, what the fuck is this slop? How am I supposed to make anything of this? You know, what the hell is going on? What's the fucking point? You know, and no, not getting any answers. And now I'm getting to an age where I'm the same old dipshit I always was, but I got more responsibility that I didn't ask for, that I don't want, that I find useless and stupid. But I'm too much of a coward to get out of here. Even though I have a method, I could end my life. So I'm just sort of, you know, I don't mean it in a whining way, whining about my problems like I did in one of my last videos, whining about all my various health concerns. But in a broader philosophical sense, the picture's pretty bleak. So if we don't cling to our stuff like our Christmas, Santa Claus is going to go around and give presents to all the children and everything's nice. If we don't believe in Plato's noble lie, then what are we left with? Yeah, we're left with survival and reproduction. And then these other atheists come around, Dawkins, these other ones, and want to spin that as if that's some sort of noble story. Nah, I don't think so. I think that's a tough sell. So I think the bibble babble bullshit Pollyanna crap is always going to be around. It's the better sell. I mean, I can see it. I can see the appeal of it. No wonder. Is it any wonder why people cling to all this nonsense? All this horseshit, bullshit? Because the real reality that we're trying to conceal is a very bleak, terrible reality. It's horrible. It's horrible. You know? And I'm only 27 and I feel like an old fucking man. I feel like, you know, I'm just tired of this shit and waking up every day. I guess I'll finish off with how I've been dealing with my depression. Every day I get up first thing and I have a glass of lemon water. I get those little squeezy bottles at the dollar store and have a glass of lemon water. Then I make my bed. And I was reading on the Business Insider that apparently making your bed every morning, making it properly, like making it with the covers tucked in like a military style bed, as being one of the first things you do when you get up in the morning, is supposed to be momentum building, motivation to do and complete another task. It's a simple task. And having the perfectionism, like actually not just throwing the sheets on there any old which way, but tucking it underneath, making it properly, build a discipline. And no matter what happens during your day, at least you have a good bed to go sleep in at night when it's all over. And very important, sleep. It's like I've become addicted to sleeping. All alone, watching the snow. Sleepy, sleepy, sleep. I look forward to going to bed every night. Bed's my only real friend. And trying to eat my peanut butter and toast. Chewing on some weed stem. But unless it's cooked, it's not going to get me high. When you can see in the background there my kit for growing weed. And the closet that it used to be in is now empty. I got my stuff mostly packed. And yeah, I think I've blivered on enough here. Philosopher Stoner 666 out.